Hi, I'm Sly. Welcome to my world on a beautiful February Sunday morning here. Couldn't ask for better weather. Been working in the shop on some Willow stuff. I finished up the headboard and a table and chair set, and I'm going to take you through how that went. And I think it turned out pretty good. But I'll let you be the judge. Thanks for watching. So after I had all the parts cut here and sanded up and dry fit all together, everything turned out pretty nice. So I decided to go for the glue up here, and I got a little more efficient at getting everything cut to the right lengths and everything and put together, and this went together really smooth compared to the footboard where I had some mishaps with it falling apart on me as I was trying to put it together. So I was pretty happy with that. Turned out really nice. Again, there's a lot of sanding involved, but it was worth the effort. It's a beast. This headboard has a lot of weight to it. I can move it around by myself, but it's definitely going to take two people to install it. But I'm happy the way it turned out. Just finishing up a few screws in the balusters here. And then once the glue dries, the screws are pretty much unnecessary. So between the headboard and the footboard, putting together here, I think it's going to make a nice set for someday for somebody. It's beautiful. So on to the chairs. Here I'm boring holes in for the balusters and the legs. And my template here really comes in handy for this. So all the chairs end up having the same dimensions or whatever for the balusters and stuff. And I made these blanks 1.75 inches thick, and it made a big difference for getting deeper tenons and making for more solid chairs in the long run. But after I got my seats all cut and sanded and dished out and went on with the assembly here, and I know I already have a video out there of making chairs, but I just wanted to throw this in real quick because I had make a couple of captain chairs in this one, and I'd never done that before. And so I had to end up making my seat blanks 4 inches wider for the captain chairs. I think my regular seats were 19 inches wide, and the captain chair seats end up being 24 inches wide to allow for the armrests. And I really like how they turned out. But here I'm just getting everything all screwed together here using a PL glue and stuff, and getting everything glued up. This glue really is nice. This PL 200 construction adhesive. So once that stuff dries, you really don't even need the screws anymore. So like I said, this is the first time I put captain chairs together, and I was happy the way it turned out. They were comfortable. I sat in them, and they were solid. So now I'm going to work on the tabletop here. I glued up a bunch of 1.5-inch pine here and got its surface sanded down to where I needed it, and it turned out really nice. And I wanted to put a live edge on this, but I couldn't find any real nice live edge lumber, so I had to manufacture my own. So I just took the skill saw and I put about a 3-degree bevel on all the edges here and knocked it down with the angle grinder and put a little contour in it here and there, gave it a little wave, and that worked out pretty good. I just thought, this being rustic furniture or whatever, it should have like a live edge look to it. So it turned out pretty decent, I thought. So that's my opinion, but I just like the look of it. So I hit it with my angle grinder here, and then I take the belt sander to it, take out all the 50 grit scratches and stuff in it, and now I'm going to assemble the table here, the legs and the rails. What I did with the legs is I put a 1-inch dowel in the top of the leg, and I bored holes in the table where I wanted the legs to go, and so they had like a pin top on them, so I could just stack the the legs on there, and they sat in place where I wanted them. And I took all it was easier working on this thing upside down. This ended up being the way to do it for me anyway. So I took all my rails that sat up against the bottom of the table, and I flattened out one side, and then I just coped them to the post, because it would have been impossible to put a tenon joint on those and keep them down tight, perfectly flat to the bottom of the table. But after I got everything cut and dry fit, everything, so I just go on to gluing everything up here and everything. But nothing got glued to the top or secured to the top, so I can easily remove it later and handle it. And that's how I'm gonna leave it for now. So here's the table. What I did was, on these rails that go up at the bottom of the table, I just coped them instead of using the tenon joints. But up here I did the tenon joints. It's a little tougher coping that, but it's hard to put a tenon joint on there with that flat surface on that. Put a flat surface on the rails here. And I bored some holes, and I got some legs that screw down into the table. That way I can take it apart for easier handling and install or whatever, because it is quite heavy. It's a 6 foot by 41-inch top. And on my other table I built, I put a tree in the center between this top rail here and these two rails. I put a tree, and I don't know if I should do that on here or not. It's solid enough, but that was just for decoration. But we'll see how it goes. I don't know what I should do with that. Well, so here it is, set up the right way. It was just easier working on it upside down. So I still got to sand the top. Put my wood filler in. I use black so it look like knots. I mean, the knots are dark enough. And I'm probably gonna pour an epoxy top or epoxy finish on top, just because it's pine. It'll take more abuse then, because pine does dent pretty easy. Oh yeah, I'll get this finished up. Good match for the chairs. So I did end up putting the braces in the table here. Made it look like a little tree. Put a couple of them in. It really helped brace that up decent. Now she's rock solid. There's no wobble to it or anything. You can put some pressure on it. And I think it turned out pretty good. Now on to the finish. So I'll get everything all finished up here. Spray my lacquer on everything. Get my epoxy poured. I'm going to build a couple of nightstands for the bed set yet. Get that finished. And get the shop all cleaned out, dust free and everything before I do any spraying. because it's kind of a disaster in here right now after all that sanding and stuff. Um, yeah, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'd appreciate that. And thanks for watching, because in future here I'm going to try to put together another expanding roundtable. And I think that'd be a pretty cool project to put on film. So thanks again. We'll see you on the next one.